Good morning. Mandy Torado from Pulled Into Letting Go. So I'm sitting here doing my morning Bible studies, and I've got a few going on. One is for the Women of the Word Bible study that I'm a part of through my church. And so we're doing this wonderful study on Gideon that Priscilla Shirer, is that how you say her name? Shirer, has written. And she asks a question in here. We're in week 3, day 4. No, day 3. Sorry. And she asks about how having less of something can make us more insecure. And then on the flip side, she asks how having less of something might make us feel more confident as we move forward. And when I first looked at that question this morning, I thought, what an odd thing to say. What an odd thing to ask. How would having less of something ever make us feel more confident? Because like Gideon, he started out with 32,000 and it kept whittling away and whittling away and whittling away. And though God knew that success was imminent, Gideon did not know that, and he did not feel confident. So I thought, how weird, right? But I sat here with that question for a few minutes, and then it occurred to me, there's less of me, of the original me, when I'm moving in any sort of ministry, because I have been so damaged by the world around me and broken down that I have had to consistently go to Jesus for healing and rebuilding. And it's his strength that keeps me going. It's his strength that shows up in ministry. There's very little of me that shows up in ministry. Like, I can tell you my story, right? And some people think, well, that's your experience, Mandy. That's your story. No, actually, if you really listen, there's not much of me in it at all. It's all what happened to me from other people and what God has done in me and through me and for me. God is at the center. He's at the beginning. He's in the middle. He's at the end, and he's all throughout. God is the main character of my story. He is the main character in the ministry. Like, he is the whole reason for it. Recently, I forget where I had heard it, but I think it was Alistair Begg, actually. He had said that Jesus leads every worship service. And it's true. He does. It's a very deep statement, but also a very simple one at the same time. And I got to thinking this morning, because of this study on Gideon, Jesus leads every ministry as well. Like, it's his ministry. We sit down, any of us who minister to anybody in any way, whether it's just a simple text to somebody who's going through a hard time, or we're having a conversation with somebody one-on-one, or a pastor who's getting ready to preach a sermon, or a chaplain walking into a hospital room, or, anything going on. we always pray about it and we say, God, give us your words, give us your message, let it flow through us. God is at the center of all of it. There's always, in ministry, there is always less of us and more of God. How cool is that? To really think about it, like, we're so on one way of looking at it, we're so insignificant because it's not actually us, it's Jesus. He's just working through us. But at the same time, we're so significant to a perfect God that he's like, yeah, I'm going to use you. It's a constant humbling when you look at it both ways, right? Like, we're insignificant in that, like, this is not an original idea. We did not actually come up with this, right? It's God working in us and through us and coming out of us to you. I don't know. To me, it's amazing. It was just really cool. And then I was also in Genesis this morning for another Bible study that I was doing, like my personal one. God looks at the rainbow, the same rainbow we're looking at, and he remembers his promise to us that he's not going to flood the earth anymore. God's looking at it too. How cool is that? Like, how cool is that? The same rainbow that we're looking at and admiring and thanking God for, he's looking down at it and going, I just love them so much. I love them so much. I'm just going to make this promise appear every time I send the clouds out. Wow. Wow. That is so cool. So cool. And again, less of us, more of God. I think it's Colton Dixon. So when you're done with this, go look on YouTube for Colton Dixon, Less of Me, More of You. Or it's either called just Less of Me or Less of Me, More of You. Something like that. His song is amazing. Have a great day. Remember, I love you, but more importantly, God loves you.